All right, so welcome back here to The Hill. So how about these three headlines and what could potentially come next in 2024? First one, stock rally resumes as the Dow advances its winning streak. By the way, it closed above 37,000 today for the second day in a row. First time that's ever happened. But would you look at this? According to Axios, why are eggs so expensive was the top-ranked Google search related to costs in every single state in this country this year. Every single one. So what, if anything, gives? And might it actually be the Federal Reserve? Because the central bank is now suggesting that there could be 3 different interest rate cuts next year, by the way, leading into the 2024 presidential election. That, in theory, would bring down costs. Democrats, that would be great for you, right? So let's work through this for a second. Rate cuts, costs start coming down. Let's just say Marc's right, border deal in February and March. Abortion, Democrats are going to talk about that from here to the moon. At that point in time, does this become Democrats taking on Republicans on crime? Is that the last issue left for Republicans?
Listen, to your point, I think all those indicators are heading in the right direction. The cost of gas is down. The cost of eggs is down. We had 9% inflation coming out of the pandemic. Now it's down to 3%. We're finally seeing wages now outpace inflation. So all this, I think, is going to hit at the right time heading into this election. You also bring up the abortion issue. We've got efforts underway in key battleground states right now to get that issue onto the ballot. That's a key driver. We saw in Ohio 95% turnout of what the midterms was in that off cycle, which is a key issue, obviously, that animates not just the left in my party, but independents as well.
I keep saying, though, Jay Powell could be your best friend as he keeps cutting rates.
Yeah.
Am I onto something here?
I think you're right, especially looking at, as we know, just a few months ago, the student loan repayments kicked off again. There are a lot of people who are affected by that, particularly younger people and minority groups who carry the largest amount of student debt. I think that it's going to, if things continue to look the way that they are, this is going to be very positive for Democrats. And to your point, I think that they're going to keep, to both of your points,
right now,
I think that they're going to keep pushing on the abortion rights argument because it's a winning one. I don't think that they're going to jump into crime. It's not a winning one for either side. Republicans aren't doing well on it either. Most of the states that have the highest levels of violent actors happen to be Republican-led.
So the flip side of this is people hate the economy. We see it poll after poll after poll. Am I onto something here, though, that if we start getting these rate cuts?
I think you are. I think the reality is that there's multiple weak issues for Joe Biden as he heads. That's why
spell them out, because we just heard him from...
Well, no, I think crime is a big issue for Republicans and advantage over Democrats. I think the border is, and I think the economy has been, because inflation has been the #1 driver. But I also think the reality is that if rates are coming down, and as Kevin said, for the first time in the Biden administration, real wages are actually outpacing inflation. That is a big benefit to Biden heading into this year. It's been a big drag on his polling numbers to date, but I think it could actually be
3 rate cuts. You look at the calendar, it essentially lines up with the election if it happens.
Yeah, well, wages have a long way to go. So the total inflation increase since the beginning of the Biden administration is 17%. And so for a family of 4, it's roughly $1,500 per month. And so your wages have a huge way to go in order for you to not feel I mean, there's a reason that the White House is distancing themselves from Bidenomics.
So, I saw Democrats yesterday saying, Dow 37K, let's pound it, let's scream it to the rooftops, right? But then you see that headline in Axios. Why are blanks so expensive? And eggs was the top search in every single state in this country. I'll leave you to think about that.
Like, I searched it last week.
Did you really? All right, there you go, Ameshia. Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.